What is up, fellow Thunkers? Darren here from xTutorials.io, here with another Thunkable X tutorial. And in the last two videos, I've done kind of more basic component overviews of using the camera and the photo library components, both to kind of get images into your Thunkable app. And since those have been a little basic, I know a lot of you like some more kind of deep dive tutorials. So in this one, I wanted to kind of show you if I was going to add some kind of feature to my app to be able to add photos, how would I go in and actually block it at length? So I'm going to show you all the kind of functions and features the way I would implement it if I was going to do it. And in this video, we're just going to be covering like uploading the photo. We're not going to be going over actually storing the photo. So I'm going to start from the last video that I did, which used the photo library to upload photos. And we just have simple blocks here to upload the photos. We have a when buttons click block, so on and so forth. When all of this is done, this is kind of what my goal is. I want to be able to add a photo. There's an alert that shows, or a little prompt that says, do you want to upload a new photo or take a new one? And so you can choose, and then depending on your option that you choose, you will get a different result. That's the way I would implement it, because people don't always want to take photos. Sometimes they want to upload them. So we got to accommodate for that. So the first thing that I did was I would add like a variable to store the photo. For now, so this is temporary. Eventually you want to store it in like a database of some sort, and we'll get to that into that in other videos. But I want to create a variable to actually store the photo, okay? And then I want to create a function called update photo. And this function does two things. It updates the photo on the screen, but it also will store the photo in my stored photo here. And so I'm going to accept an input here, and we'll call it P, and that's going to be the photo. And P is going to get stored or shown on the screen and then stored in that variable. And so this is my update photo function. And so we can use that here, just replace what we had before. And in the input P, we'll add the photo. Once we have it stored, once we're showing it on the screen, since we have the photo stored, then whenever the screen starts up, we can start showing what photo is stored. So if we go to our screen, we can say when screen starts, then we can show the photo. And so here is another case that I would use a function, because right now what I want to do is copy that over. So why don't, instead of just copying that line of code, I would just add another function just to make things a little bit more explicit and readable, called show photo. This is also going to have an input of P, which is just a temporary variable used to pass that photo along. And yeah, we can keep that, and we'll replace this line of code with the show photo function that we just created. And then we'll copy this over here. So you might say that was unnecessary, useless, but this is just the way I like to do things. I like to break things out into functions, and we're going to expand on this even more as we go along. What's beautiful about this is if I ever want to add another step in here to show photo, maybe I want to show some kind of name associated to the photo, all I have to do is update it in one place. I don't have to update it in multiple places. And so that's really the reason we use functions. And so what we just did right there was kind of set ourselves up for the future. And now if we go to our app, now if I take a photo, or sorry, upload a photo, I can keep that, and then if I close the app, open it back up, I should see that photo that was stored. I don't see it because here we don't want to update this with P. We actually want to show the stored photo. So that's a mistake on my part. So let's try that again. Yeah, boom, there, it just showed up. So now if I close it out, since we already had the stored photo stored in the variable, it's going to show right there. I really should have thought should have thought more about this photo if I was going to be using it in 3 videos, but whatever. That's me. It's a fun night, and I hope you're having a fun time too. All right, so what else would I do to kind of expand this and make this a little bit better? Well, down here, I don't really totally love how we did this. If there's an error, I like to show errors to the user so that they know there was an error, and then they can report that or what have you. And so I want to update this if block. So let's add an else if here, and we're going to say if there's an error, then we're going to do something, and then if the user did not cancel, then we're going to or else if the user did not cancel, we're going to update the photo. And so what this allows us to do is kind of do something else if there is an error. So if there's an error, I want to show that to the user. So I'm going to add an alert component. And we'll title this one alert_error. Give it a title of error. We'll say there was an error. And the confirm text will be okay. So now that the properties of the alert are filled out, we can go to the alert in our blocks and update the message of the alert to read what is returned as the error. But not only do we want to do that, we also want to show the alert. And so I can go to show alert. So we're updating the message, the text of the alert, and then also showing it. And here, this is another case when I want to make my app more readable. So I'm going to add a quick function here called show error. And that's going to take in an input of E, just to pass that in. And then I'll throw those 2 blocks in there, replace this error with the variable E. And then we'll go ahead and use that function, show error, by throwing the error in right there. So that is how I would update this, kind of clean this up so that we can show the error and update the photo if the user did not cancel. All right, so get a good look at these functions. I'm going to go ahead and collapse them just to give me some space. But the last thing I want to do, and that I showed you, was giving the user the option to either take a new photo or upload a photo. So what we can do is I'm going to create another function and move this block into here, and we'll call this function select photo. All right, and so we'll call select photo to actually upload a photo. And I also want to have another function called take photo, and to use that we need to add in the camera component. So we'll come here, paste in that camera component, and then what I'm going to do is just duplicate what I have right here because it's the exact same blocks. We're just kind of updating what component we're using. So we'll do that here, update this to camera 1, so in camera 1. Then we want to call take photo. And that kicked out these blocks, but all we have to do is paste those back in. And so now we have two functions. One is called select photo. The other one we'll call take photo. And then now we want to give the user the option to choose from both. And so for that, I'm going to add another alert. And we'll call this alert choose photo. For the title, I'll say upload, ? And then ask, do you want to take a new photo or upload a photo? And for the two options, we want to have two options. So the way I would do this is for the confirm, I'll say upload, and then for the cancel, we'll say take photo. And then I'll show you what we can do in our blocks. So for confirmed, the did user cancel will be false. And then if they cancel it, or if they choose take a photo, then that did user cancel flag will be true. So let me show you how to implement that. So we'll have a little if block here with an else statement. And we're going to actually put this inside of our alert. So we'll show this alert, then do if was confirmed. So if you remember, confirmed was upload. So then I will call the select photo function. If it was not confirmed, then the user wanted to take a photo, and so I'll call the take photo function. And I do believe that that is everything that I had in my notes. And yeah, that is how I would block this out. Let's go back to our screen here, and I'll update this to upload or take new. And let's go ahead and test this out and see how it looks within our app. All right, so here we see the previous photo is now uploaded because we're using that stored variable. When I select add a photo, it gives me the option to take a photo or upload one. If I choose take a photo, let's take a photo of my little wood thing over there. Then I can take that photo, use the photo, and boom, that is updated. The other option is to upload a photo. And when that takes place, I can upload a photo again. If I choose it and I choose to cancel, nothing happens. And that's what we wanted. That's what we had kind of in our blocks. So yeah, if I was adding photos to my app, if I was going to add this feature, this is how I would do it. And if you wanted to actually get access to the code that I used today, the way that I do things on my channel, the way I share my projects, is I post them all in a single location on my website, and it's called the Remix Vault. And the Remix Vault has all of the apps that I've created in Thunkable that I've done kind of tutorials on Thunkable X Tutorials, this YouTube channel. And so all you have to do is follow the link that's in the description, create your free account, and then you get access to all of my apps in one place. You can remix them, do whatever you want that you can imagine. It's all free for you. It's just easier for me to maintain, and I think easier for you as well. And so yeah, check out the Remix Vault down in the description. I have that link. And I hope you enjoyed this video on my take of adding photos to the app. And in the next few videos, we're going to get into storing photos. So be sure to subscribe so that you don't miss those videos. And my friend, I just want to tell you, something. If you're new here, one thing that I like to say at the end of my videos is happy coding.